YouTube. So 30 weeks pregnant today. That means that in 10 weeks it'll all be over, probably, I assume. I kind of have a feeling that I'm not even going to get to 40 weeks. I think it'll happen earlier. This time last year I was preparing to go to Bali for a month. And the same thing is happening this year. It's happening again, the same event that I went to. Obviously I can't go. And some people were like, we're going to Bali in 7 weeks. I was like, I could be giving birth in 7 weeks, It's been an okay week. I've done lots of sorting out, mainly of my room, and not really getting rid of anything, but just kind of reordering and reorganising, so that feels good. And things are looking very neat and tidy, which I like. Now obviously I have to start thinking about what I need to make room for, and I have left space, all of this is completely movable. And kind of, obviously I need to focus on what I need to get for baby, because still not prepared in that sense at all. And that's mainly just due to it being that the money's tight and things cost, so we're just trying our best, Mum and I. I bought 3 books on childbirth last week, and they are The New Experience of Childbirth, New Active Birth, and Birth Skills. Now all these books revolve around natural birth, and I bought them just because I don't know, I just kind of thought, well, hang on a second, they haven't said that I can't do anything yet, so I may as well still prepare for a natural labour. And, at least read up on it and try and understand it and everything. So I haven't read all those books yet, but I am currently reading The New Experience of Childbirth, and I'm about halfway through. And really what it's focusing on is the emotional response of the mother to pregnancy and childbirth, and how preparing mentally for it can be, and emotionally can be, extremely beneficial to the labour itself in its positivity. I know that we've kind of been conditioned to think of labour as being something incredibly painful and traumatic and everything, and this book is kind of saying, well, it doesn't have to be that way. It also centres a lot around having a birth at home, which I really don't know if that'll be an option. This is the frustrating thing about my situation, is that I can't assume that I'm going to be able to have a normal labour and delivery, and I guess the next few weeks will really give a clearer idea. So it's a little frustrating that I can't really get on with like a proper birth plan as I would like, because it may be a waste of time. But I am certainly sort of gathering ideas as to how I would like it to go, and maybe where and things like that if possible. And hopefully the other 2 books will be really handy as well. So yeah. I spoke to a friend of mine, and I met her actually through travelling, and she's a yoga instructor. She's got 2 girls, and I thought she's probably going to be more inclined towards the kind of birth that I'm interested in. And so I bet you she had those kind of births. And so I rang her up and we had a chat about it. And it turns out that she'd had 2 very different experiences, which was really helpful to talk about. She said her first baby, she'd planned a water birth in hospital, but it turned out that the baby was presenting breech, and so she was given an emergency C-section. And then the second baby, she said she was determined to have her birth plan go her way, and so she planned a home water birth. And she said that in the weeks leading up to the labour, she spent a lot of time crawling around on all fours, as it helps to turn breech babies. And it did. The baby turned, and she was able to have the home birth that she desired. And she said it was wonderful. And she had actually done lots of hypnobirthing practice beforehand, and she said that was really helpful. And it looks like I may be getting free yoga sessions in the next few weeks, because a work colleague of my mum knows someone who does yoga, and she's just qualified to become a pregnancy yoga instructor and is looking for guinea pigs. So immediately say, hi, I'm about to have a baby, I'd like to try some relaxation with you. So hopefully that's gonna happen. I've had a little bit of trouble with actually with my belly button, because it's always been outy, always. And obviously with the baby growing, it's being pushed outwards further and further and further and further, to the point where skin that wouldn't normally be exposed is being exposed. And for a while that was kind of a bit sore, but it seems to be kind of coping and adapting now, and it's not too bad. It just looks a bit odd, especially from because I can't see the underneath of it anymore. And especially it looks weird from underneath, because there's basically like a little crease down the middle of my belly button. But I was looking with a hand mirror at the underneath, and I was like, kind of looks like a penis. Oh. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, emotionally speaking, it's been very up and down again. And some days I feel quite happy and quite confident about my impending status as mother. It's not even like the labour that really worries me, it's just being mum. And then other days I feel completely unprepared, and this is such a difficult thing for me to do, and that maybe it's not really what I want, but I made these decisions, and so it's really up and down, and I'm trying to sort of keep an eye on these feelings. But I mean, this book that I'm reading at the moment has been really good, because I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I mean, it covers a lot of different topics surrounding pregnancy, briefly, which I really enjoy. It doesn't linger too long on one particular subject. And one of the things that I really enjoyed is that I read the section about the emotional response to pregnancy, and how, even though it is a wonderful thing, there are still women who struggle with it, like myself. And it was so good to read that. I just felt like all of those feelings were validated and completely normal. And even though people tell me oh yeah, that's normal, there's a tendency for other people to be dismissive and just be like, oh, you'll be fine. And it's just like, sometimes you just need more than that. It's very simple. I'd like to do sort of videos that are surrounding the emotional topics more than the physical. I know that obviously the physical is important, but there's, the emotional side of things is very important also. And I just think that maybe if there were more videos like that by pregnant women talking about their emotional response to pregnancy and labour and then motherhood, it may help other women significantly with their own feelings. If you guys don't mind, I would like to be more open with you about my life and my emotions, as long as you guys don't get completely bored with my ramblings. For the record, Giovanni and I are taking some distance. I mean, we're not a couple, but it is required for my sanity, I think, to have some distance from him, just because I don't want to be unfair to him, because I am broadcasting this on the internet and I don't want to do him any sort of disservice, but he was upsetting me quite a lot. Obviously it's not a good idea to be very stressed and anxious in your last stages of pregnancy. I want to try and enjoy this time as much as possible. And he wasn't really allowing me to do that, so until further notice, we do not have any contact with each other. And I know that it's not that I'm going to be denying him any rights to his child. Of course, you know, he's entitled to visit and everything, but for example, like I'm not even sure I really want him at the birth. Honestly, I'm not really sure he would be enough of a help to warrant him being there. Because I'm, as you know, all you guys know from this video, I am an extremely emotional person. I'm not particularly cerebral. I'm very emotional, and I need a lot of emotional support, and I just feel that if he was to be my birth partner, then I don't think I would get that. And he needs to do some sorting out himself. I'm aware he's only 20, just like I am, and, you know, I wouldn't expect him to be sorted at the age of 20. Who is? So, for the time being, we are not in contact. So, yes. There's been a couple of questions lately. Have I picked out names? I have names that I like, but I'm not really trying to like settle on any one in particular, only because I know myself and I'm prone to having sort of changes of heart about things. Excuse me. I'm prone to having changes of heart about things, and I just, you know, I'd like to have options. So I have got names that I like. I won't be telling anybody yet though. Have I managed to get a PO box sorted out? No, I'm really sorry, I haven't. I just haven't thought about it, and I haven't given it any sort of research or anything. Sorry. So if I do though, I will of course let you guys know, and it's not like, you know, once the baby gets here I'm going to stop doing blogs and vlogs. I'm going to continue. So I have my appointment to go and see the anaesthetist tomorrow, so I'll update you on that next week, unless something really interesting happens tomorrow, in which case you can expect a video earlier. Right, so I think what I'll just do is I'll get on with the belly measurement, and normally that's when I remember that I've left something out. My brother has said that baby should be renamed Colossus. I don't think I'm particularly colossal right now. I think it's a bit unfair that he made that comment. So, there's the belly with the shirt off. No stretch marks yet, nothing, which I'm quite pleased with. And you can kind of see the belly button has... It looks fine though, it just looks like a pregnant belly button now. But for a while it did look really weird. So last week I was 32. I'm holding it in, you see, because I'm trying to see the measure. This is very strange, baby. How is it that you... I swear I was 32 last week, and now it's saying that I'm 31.5. Which is about 80 centimetres, roughly. Also, on a side note with the whole motherhood thing, sometimes I feel really confident about being mother, because this will sound daft, but of the way that I treat my pets. I have 3 cats and 2 rabbits, and the way that I behave with them is very motherly. And if I love them as much as I do, and I do, I love them to pieces, I can't imagine what it'll be like with my own baby. It's a journey of discovery, isn't it, this whole pregnancy thing? Right. I'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. Bye! A PS kind of thing. I would actually like to do my own Q&A session. So if you have any questions for me, I'm going to be collecting them over, let's say, the next 2 weeks, and I'll do it in a couple of weeks' time. I'll do a Q&A, and I'll answer all your questions, and nothing is too personal. Go ahead, give me what you got. I'll see you guys. Bye!